that we didn't know how
still
to
hadn't
do,
figured out.
or we still haven't figured out.
Yeah, and so I was watching this thing on the Gaia network.
Yeah.
And one of the, I can't remember what site they were at, someplace in Babylon. And no, it wasn't. It was in Greece, wherever the fuck it was. One of these.
Baalbek?
Yes.
That's a Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they were at. And one of these fucking blocks was the biggest single block ever found in history. It was 1,660 tons.
But you know what?
They estimated. They didn't
historians and other academics, scholars, whatever you want to call it, will tell you that whole entire site was created by Romans.
Yeah, no,
now,
that's bullshit.
What's on top of that?
Yeah, that
looks
was Roman.
very Roman.
Yeah, but
the stuff underneath,
but the 3 layers underneath that it was built on is not Roman.
It's not Roman.
Yeah, and I mean, these are the same people that will say that the Great Pyramid was a tomb, and it's not.
No.
Yeah, there's not been a mummy found there.
No.
All of the like 99%.
Just because some pyramids were tombs.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of the pharaohs were buried in the Valley of the Kings anyway. Mm-hmm. That's why it's the Valley of the Kings.
It's sort of implied in the name.
Yeah, I mean that's the honorary resting place of them. And
the thing is, we're still finding Mayan sites, Aztec sites that we had no idea were there.
Oh yes, and over there, it's so easy to lose one because of how dense the Amazon rainforest is. I mean, you can be walking like 5 feet away from one and not know it's fucking there.
Yeah, but now with the
LiDAR,
yeah, it looks through all those trees and everything.
That LiDAR is the coolest shit.
It really is, and I think that's helped out a lot.
Yeah. That was another thing that was interesting to me. Newer technology that's really paying off. Genetics. They are, the accepted thing is that man entered North America through the Bering Strait land bridge, and that's how we populate. Up until 13,000 years ago, no humans were on North America or South America.
See, I think that's ridiculous.
Okay, and it is. I agree. But guess what? Now we're starting to get proof of that because we're finding out that people in South America have Aboriginal Australian ancestors.
Oh, wow.
Which you cannot find in Central or North America.
But you know where...
if you can't find it there, there's no way it came through there to get to them.
But here's the thing. All right, so I may get a little bit of shit for this, but I'm going to say Antarctica wasn't always covered in ice. And the reason that I say that is twofold. One, there are maps that show it.
Before we knew...
like before it was rediscovered, there was maps showing it green.
Yeah.
And number two, there are fucking pyramids on it. Mm-hmm. I've seen the picture. I know pictures can be photoshopped, but I would like to hope that they didn't do that to this one. Because if you can't... I mean, you can fucking Photoshop anything, so I guess you can't trust anything now.
They definitely look like it.
Yeah, it looks just like a pyramid structure.
It's hard to get to. It's kind of access is controlled. And you think about this.
Back in the day, when it was green, they could have gone from Australia to New Zealand to Antarctica to the tip of Chile all the way up.
And I don't.
And that would have been a hell of a lot more convenient than going down through fucking the Bering Strait.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't know if they're there or not, but think about China. How many pyramids have we found in the last few decades?
Oh, I don't know because they won't fucking tell anybody
that they won't. Yeah, we've gotten glimpses of them that
from like a passing satellite. Yeah. You know what irritates me? There is it's a like a room, like a big cavern or whatever, under one of the paws of the Sphinx. What?
Nothing.
Probably about me, isn't it?
No.
Oh, there's a cavern underneath one of the paws of the Sphinx, right? And in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he specifically says there's a fucking hall of records underneath the left paw of the Sphinx.
Zahi Hawass
won't let anybody.
Let them.
Yeah, that's
somebody
bullshit.
Ran, I think, like
sonar. They ran sonar
or something, and saw something there.
And it was like a 13-foot wide by some odd, or 13-foot tall, I guess, by however big, structure underneath there, and they won't let them fucking look.
No.
You know, just like they believe that the head of the Sphinx was supposed to be a pharaoh. No, it wasn't. It never was. It was the head of Anubis, and for whatever fucking reason...
Well, one of the pharaohs, I'm sure, had it changed to resemble his, you know...
Yeah,
but...
So with that being... All of that being said, I want to touch on the flat Earth thing.
Yeah, do that one.
Okay.
Two.
So, the whole idea of the flat Earth theory is that the Earth is not round. It is, in fact, kind of flat. And I'm not saying I believe it. What did she say? I look like who?
I think Andrea. Did you say Andrea?
Jesus Christ. I hate all of you.
Y'all keep talking. We're having fun.
But I'm all right. So number one, I'm not saying I believe the flat Earth theory. I am saying I've never seen it for myself. Right. So, but number two, the flat Earth people, no matter how good their argument may be, they lose me when they do shit like I saw on a documentary. This fucking guy considered himself an evangelical flat earther, right? So
wasn't that guy that was trying to hook up with that girl the whole time?
No, that was funny and awkward though. And he'll die a virgin, I'm sure. But this guy, he considered himself an evangelical flat earther, and he would walk up to random motherfuckers and be like, has anyone ever told you the Earth is flat? And it's like, dude, if you want people to take you seriously, you can't do that. You know, I mean, that's just not how that goes. So, but I've seen their experiments, and the idea of the experiments are fine. Their controls are horribly wrong, though. You know, because they'll do these experiments that don't hold. Holy shit!
Ross is hot.
Ross makes a hot looking chick.
Really?
You look like Andrew.
Yeah.
God damn, baby, I would do you.
I look like a troglodyte, and Ross is getting ready for the cover of Maxim. What
Me
the
and Brandy are
fuck?
playing with Snapchat filters.
I look just like my youngest son.
Anyway, but the controls that they have set up for these experiments don't hold up to any kind of scientific scrutiny, you know, and so instead of the scientific community getting with some of these fucking guys and actually developing legitimate experiments, they all want to stand back and go, oh, what a bunch of fucking idiots. You know,
that's easier.
Yeah. You know, if your theory is right and you're 100% sure that it cannot be proven wrong, help them try.
Yeah.
You know, that's what science is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
testing
all.
Hypothesis,
If you can't prove your theory, then it stays a theory. And
Right.
if you can prove it, then it becomes a law. You know? So I've never understood that. You know, if I think that what I say is 100% right and you can't disprove it, I'm more than happy to help you try.
Well, yeah.
You know, I'll even help you brainstorm fucking experiments to try to disprove it. You know, we can have the shit peer reviewed and everything.
Yep.
Why would you not do that? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and I think part of it is the structure of our civilization. You know, these guys are afraid to challenge because they can lose funding. They can lose, you know, that kind of thing. So I think they'd rather just sit there and stick their head in the sand. You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like funding. You know, because
but you would think that at some point somebody would provide, and I can't imagine it would take a lot of funding, provide enough funding to say, you know what, we're going to definitively prove or disprove this theory, and once we disprove it, all y'all stop talking about it.
Well, the thing is, in academia, everything even there is so political that, you know.
Well, and
that's where it shouldn't be.
No, absolutely,
you know?
not. But the money has to come from somewhere.
And I think politics fucks up everything.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Just like government fucks up everything it touches too, which is fucked up because I work for the government. But you know, whatever. I guess I do until they hear this.
Whoops.
But anyway, but yeah. Good God.
What? That's cute. What?
Oh my Lord. Anyway, I would think that would be I would think that after having been called liars for so many years, NASA would throw a couple $1 million at them.
Yeah, really. No
because
kidding.
that's who they'd love to go with. They'd love to call NASA liars.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that a lot of times they are. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a group of motherfuckers whose sole job it is to, Photoshop satellite pictures. But with this, that would be easy. 10, 20 experiments. You could do it in a year. Have the definitive fucking experiments. Have them peer reviewed before they're accomplished, and have them peer reviewed after.
But some of that too is there's things that like get accepted, and nobody wants to challenge them. It's like in North America, there was the Clovis culture. Mm-hmm. It's been thought for decades that. Anthropologists, historians, and everything else, there's no need to dig any further because nobody was here before the Clovis culture.
And that was what, like 6,000 years ago?
I think it went back to 7, 8, 9,000.
Okay.
Like that.
Your neighbor has artifacts in her backyard that have been dated to 12,500 years ago. That's the end of the last ice age.
But honestly, though, really, there was pushback from anybody that decided, well, let's dig further and see what we find, because there's a guy in the Yukon here recently that has found evidence of man 130,000 years old, but we're to believe that man wasn't on the North American continent until 12,000, 13,000 years ago.
See, and that's what I don't understand. If I have this discovery. And it says X, and you find something that says X minus 500, that doesn't change what I found.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That doesn't discredit my work. It doesn't discredit my discovery. It doesn't change anything except, hey, there's some older shit.
To the puzzle now.
And now we have more data to make better decisions.
Knowledge is always good.
Well, there's. This is going to sound a little bit conspiratorial, but it happens to be the truth. There are some entities who want to keep us as in the dark as possible, because the more we know, the more power we have. But and that's not convenient for their agenda.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to get killed. Yeah. So, what else we got? Oh, here's a good one. If you had a time machine and you could only go back to 3 points in time, where would you go and what would you do? Ross?
3 points in time.
Three.
Okay. I would like to go back to, say, 15, 20,000 years ago.
Okay.
And just be an observer strictly, and would like to see because I think we've got it all wrong. I don't think we were just walking around in loincloths hitting things on the head. I think there was a lot more developed civilization long before we think it was. Okay. The other thing would be go back 65 million years ago. I don't want to be there physically because I don't want to get eaten, but I'd love to see dinosaurs, like, for real.
Oh no,
I remember the Jurassic.
It would be a time machine, like in the movie Time Machine, where you're in the enclosed bubble.
Protected bubble.
Yeah,
because like Jurassic Park, that scene where they first see the dinosaurs walk. Oh my god,
yeah,
that his reaction was literally me. I was like, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I know those two. I'd have to think a little longer on the third one.
All right, ready?
I'd like to go back and see the megafauna, like like dire wolves this tall, size of horses, and I'd love to see like all of that and see like the extinct animals that like extinct like early horses and things like that. I'd love to see all that. I would like to go back to pre-contact North America and see how my ancestors lived. And
Well, you would
Native
have to
Americans.
figure out when the fuck that was
Yeah,
first.
exactly.
well, I understand
Because
that.
if you're talking about Columbus, you're going to be waiting a long fucking time because he landed in Bermuda.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about Columbus. I'm talking about, I'm
8,000-9,000 years ago.
Yeah,
Native
like-
Americans.
Yeah,